What's up, YouTube? Today we're going to be going over a pretty cool bike that I built up myself. First, this is my 2024-2025 S-Works Epic 8, and I love this bike so much that I wanted to build up a pretty cool Epic 8 Evo. They just released the new 2026 colorway, and I love the Epic 8 so much that I feel like having two would be pretty cool. I didn't want to change anything on my other one, kind of wanted a more trailier one for more trail focused riding, and the other one's built up so great kind of as like a do-it-all gravel cross country like marathon type build. So didn't want to make that bike or change anything else on it to make it a bit more trailier. So love it that much that I kind of want to build up a pretty cool custom Epic 8 Evo. Okay, so as a bike, the whole bike, we have a 2026 frame. Came with a Fox rear shock, but we switched it out for the new RockShox Super Deluxe rear shock. So I chose not to do flight attendant for this. This has the manual lock right there. So pretty cool. I put the red decals on. It has some pretty, some basic settings, but it has the XL air can. So I did ride this bike already. It is a great blend of a shock. It's not too beefy, but not too much of a cross-country rear shock. It's a trail shock. Still testing it out, but I think it pairs really nice with. We have the new 2026 RockShox Pike Flight Attendant with the Charger 3.1 damper. So this is Flight Attendant. They did come out with a update so that you can use only the front fork Flight Attendant and it works automatically, where before you couldn't. So that's a new update that came out a few weeks ago. So you can just have Flight Attendant in the front and not in the rear. This will pair with your power meter or pedal sensor. So I do have everything paired nicely to a XXSL power meter. So I'm using a 34 tooth chainring, but this is a Spider power meter. And it's also attached to XXSL cranks. So this has a hollow core, so it's a very light crankset compared to the other one. So again, this is what's communicating with the RockShox Pike up front. So it'll lock it out, go in pedal mode or open it. And I do have right at the dropper lever here, this bottom one controls the dropper, and I can manually lock it out if I don't want to have to rely on it doing it automatically. So pretty cool overall. It's a sweet looking bike. I chose again to have it a bit trailier of a setup. This is the new RockShox Reverb Axis dropper post. It's a 150 drop, and this is a size large. I'm about 5'10", and the large fits me great, but 150 Axis Reverb. We have the power mirror saddle, 3D printed, which is super comfy. I have these on all my bikes. This one's with the titanium rails, not the carbon rails. What we got going over here, we have the Schraube Wicked Wheels, front and rear. Kind of want to try those out. I've never tried them out before, so I kind of want to break like the Maxxis tire trend. And after a few rides on this, these are great tires. Really, like they're fast rolling. They grip into the ground amazing. We're in the Northeast, so really just testing out the durability at this point. So kind of a hybrid setup as far as XXSL and regular XX. For the XXSL stuff, like I said before, we have the cranks and the chainring. For regular XX, we have the derailleur and the cassette and the chain. Right now, this bike completely weighs probably around, from when I weighed it, like 28 pounds. I'm using a heavier, for now, temporary. I'm waiting on, Specialized has new carbon wheels that I'm waiting on, the Control Solix build with the carbon spokes. So that'll be really cool to put on. That's gonna shave a pound of weight. These are a heavier DT Swiss. These are EXC 1501s. They're carbon, but they're more of an enduro wheel. So I'll be able to lose a lot of weight once I get that new wheel set in. They're just sold out right now, but in July I'll put those on, and it'll be like kind of my ideal weight for this is gonna be 27 pounds. With pedals, which I should be able to achieve. We also have, this is an aluminum link right here, so the yoke. So I have a carbon one coming in, so I'm going to switch this out so it's carbon, so that should shed a little bit of weight. But again, This bike's awesome. Rode it a few times already. The flight attendant pair is nice. This is a very nice lever. Like, it's very easy to reach under when you're riding and just flip it to firm it out or lock out. So I was reaching for this on some fire roads at my local trails, going into the more gnarlier single track. So again, super easy if you have to reach down quickly and pull it to lock it out or firm it out. Everything on this is just a super awesome trail build. So let's go over the cockpit. We are using same ones I have on the regular Epic 8, but been loving the motives, so I decided to put the motives on this. These are the new Motive Ultimates, carbon lever. The other one I have on my Epic 8's limited edition, but this is kind of like the silver pewter color, which I love. Trying out the One Up. One Up has new carbon handlebars. This is just a 20 mil rise, cut to 760. With a race face turbine stem. So the race face turbine stem is a lot lighter than the One Up stem, so I paired that with the One Up carbon bar. Over here we have the shifters. So again, on this side, just because I kept it the normal pod setup, this is controlling the lockout over here if I want to, and the bottom one is dropping the seat post, which is pretty cool. Put this new, which RAM has the rocker paddle for the pod shifter here, for rear shifting. So this works really nice for the shifter. I didn't really want it over here because, again, it's easier for me. This one is controlling the lockout and this one is controlling the dropper itself. If you haven't already, like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Helps the channel out a lot. If you want to ever reach out, you can contact us and follow us on our Instagram. We'll leave a link down below. We're always happy to help out. We always like to hear your opinions on the bikes we build and what you're riding, and comment on this video. Tell me what tires to use, grips, handlebars, whatever. I'm always happy to try a new product out. And if you have the Epic 8 at home and you're dabbling in wanting to ride an Evo, you don't even have to get a whole new bike. If you kind of, you're not in the market to have two bikes, you can get a 130 fork, you can get trailer tires, you can get a beefy rear shock, you can keep switching these parts out because the Epic 8 in the ecosystem in itself, the front and rear triangle is the same. So it's really just the components getting swapped out to make it a little bit more of a trailer bike. What I did notice about riding the Epic Evo compared to the Epic 8, the Epic 8 has an on the top feeling, like, for cross country. This doesn't have your in the bike feel. It's the middle ground, it's a little bit in the bike and on top of the bike. So it is a very noticeable difference, and it has very different ride characteristics once you're on the trail versus the normal Epic 8. Again, I'm able to tackle everything. I was doing I'm doing 10-foot drops on this, everything. It feels amazing. The other Epic 8, the S-Works one, it was such a great bike. It felt great even on just like natural trail riding, that I was like, you know what? I gotta try an Epic 8 Evo. I don't wanna make this one too much of a beefier bike. I love the way it is. So again, owning a shop, I was very fortunate to get the new frame that was released. Kind of pick the components that I think is gonna be great. Again, I'm gonna switch out the aluminum yoke link over here to carbon, and put on the new, I think it's the Control Solix with the Industry 9 hubs, carbon wheels that will lose a pound. Those are coming in. So that's kind of the last two things that I'm waiting on. Really happy with the tire choice, the Wicked Wheels. If you guys think that there's some other tires, like downcountry tires, to try on this bike, let me know. I really want to try them. Same with the bars, grips, stems, whatever you guys think. Drop a comment, let me know your setup, because again, I kind of want to use this bike to try some pretty cool products out. And if it can help you guys out, if you guys can help me out to really perfect the ride, I'm always down. And there you have it. Again, this wasn't a complete review. Just wanted to go over why I built up an Epic Evo on top of having an Epic 8. Just loving the two bikes. I'm very excited to do a really long-term, I have like 3 rides on this bike, so super happy to do a long-term review and then have some riding clips with this bike also, so stay tuned. Again, subscribe to the channel so you can get alerted when we post new videos. Thanks for watching the channel. Subscribe if you can. And yeah, comment and tell me what I should try on this bike.